Hello everybody. So as I mentioned last class, this is a recorded class. I already baked the face. I baked this ear and I sculpted this one. This one is not baked yet. Okay, and after baking, I want to show you guys something before I start the painting. After baking, I could see some parts that was not very symmetric, so I added here. You can see this part is shiny because this is fresh clay, so I added some volume here, and I also noticed that it was missing some volume to the eyebrow, so I added this volume here. But I think this is an important feature to show because it made a huge difference. So I'm gonna do this side and show you guys how I did. So if you look at the forehead, you will see that there's always this volume here. Here she's doing like faces, so we can't really see. But this is not just on her. This is, everyone has a volume. After the forehead, we have a volume that goes higher and then starts the eyebrow. Usually, you can see a little shade in here, both sides, showing this volume here. In this picture, you can't see because of the light, or I don't know, this is a repaint, so you can't really see. But it exists in everyone. So I'm going to, and then this is how I did the volume here. I made, you can see that I made the volume like from here to here, and it's higher right there. Okay, so I'm going to add some clay here. I also lowered the eyebrow a little bit when I added this volume. So it's like a triangle that I add, and I'll go, this is already baked, so that's quite, I always like to do that after I bake, because it's, when it's not baked, it's kind of hard to do that, unless you put your clay. You can also put it on the fridge to get it harder, but I'm working with soft clay, so sometimes some small volumes is easier to add after you're already baked. And then I spread this in this direction here. So something this way. And then I start like smooth out and blending in with the forehead. All right. And if you look in this direction, always make sure that this is not higher than that. So it gets higher as it reaches here, and then it goes again, like it finishes here for start the nose. All right, so after I do that, I'm gonna blend this in right here too. And right here. And then I'm gonna mark the eyebrow here. So it goes kind of here. Right, so I made a line, and then this part I'm just gonna blend in with the over the eye. And then this part I already explained, just blend in, and then if you don't want that big, if it's too big for yours, then you press it in and reduce this volume. Maybe you already have this volume, like sometimes when you're sculpting, it's just there because you notice, and it's right there. And here, around here, there's it's lower. I always like to mark too, even though if I can't see on the picture, it's just anatomically correct. Because of the temporal bone here, it's more inside. And you can see that on our skull, so it's just making sure that this doesn't disappear and get all puffy. And there's this way. Okay, so I'm just gonna work on the symmetry now, and I'm gonna bake, and I'll come back for painting. I was planning to show how to paint with the just powder over unbaked clay, but because my clay is too sticky, I really don't want to do that. So I showed how to make genesis, so you guys can just make the genesis and paint after you bake. If you want to try with the powder paint, try before in, you know, just like a not finished face, just so you see how easy it is or how hard it is for you to do it before you make a decision to put on the face that is all done. So now everything is baked, and if after baking you still want to smooth it out, you can sand your piece, or you can sand with acetone, pure acetone. But if you do it with acetone, make sure to wash it after with like detergent or something, water and soap, to clean up all the residues that from the acetone leaves. Same with sanding, it's always good to clean up the residues. Then when you're happy, it's time to paint. So I promised that I would teach other ways than Genesis, because Genesis is pricey. So I'm using here the gel like I showed the last class. And this is just gel, which in some clays you have the name of liquid clay. And I'm going to grab some brown. So I have here eyeshadow. And I'm gonna look for a brown that is not too dark, not too light, to make all the shades on her face. I'm gonna try this one. Even if it's wet is okay, because I just use this makeup for that, but you probably want to use like a dry brush to grab your eyeshadow. And then I'm going to color my gel with it. Remember that this is white, the gel is white when it's wet, but once it's dried and baked, it gets transparent. So the color tend to be a little bit darkened after. And if you want, you can mix. So I'm gonna mix some of this lighter one. Until I like the color. Okay, and now I will do the shadings. So I'm gonna start with everywhere that it's darker. So I always do this. She has like a lot of shade in here, because she has that very deep, so we can copy. I'm just gonna go all the way in there. So you see, I like the color. I like this brown. It's not too dark. If you want darker, then go ahead and go darker. And the same thing if you're using Genesis, just go with Genesis. I can do this side with Genesis, and you guys see the difference. And I like to come all the way around the nose like that, following this shade. It's just like contouring on makeup. If you want to be good at shading, learn those YouTube tutorials for like contouring makeup. And you're gonna do a great job here. You can add some black too to make, or purple, you know, blue. It really depends on what color you want to go with the shades. So I put some under the eyes here, some here. There. I'm gonna add some to the under the cheekbones here. It's really like contouring. And when you use the gel, I think it's a bit easier to spread than the Genesis. Okay. All right, I'm gonna add some darker here. I'm gonna add some black to this mix. So I want to test the shades a bit darker. So I'm gonna add some black. I'm not gonna add all the way. I still wanna have this color here. I'm gonna add just a tiny little bit here. Get a darker shade here. Okay, so now with a little bit darker brown, and it all depends on how the effect that you want to do on yours. Like, you know, you can go really hard with the shading or you can go softer. It's really up to what you're looking for. I add some in here. And now I'm gonna add the brown. Oops, here. Maybe add a mix of brown and darker brown here, just kind of in between. Add in here. You'll see some brown here. So whatever I think that shade was not dark enough, I will go with the darker one, like here. I think here I want quite dark because it's gonna make the eye look even deeper. Maybe here under the eyes as well. Inside the nose, I always like to add some. I'm not painting this side because I'm going to show this side with the Genesis so you guys can compare. Okay, I like that. Okay, now I'm gonna add even more black because I'm gonna paint under the eyes here. So to paint under the eyes, I'm just going with the black. And the more powder you put and less gel, then the darker you get. I'm gonna add some inside the eye. And here as well. I don't like painting in camera because I can't really wear my glasses. It's kind of hard. But just so you guys can see. When you paint here, make sure to go inside, and if it goes outside, it's fine. You can clean up from the top, but don't go in the eyeball. Avoid the eyeball. Because the eyeball is harder to clean. Okay, so I try to just go inside, even though I don't have my glasses. And obviously without the glasses, I probably didn't do a good job. But I can't really see. Oh, I made a mistake in here. I can see that I blurry. But I'll teach you guys how to clean up. So to clean up, you just come with a tool or a toothpick and clean it up. It's really easy. And then because I don't want the black to go on her eyelid, I just want inside, I can come with a toothpick. Toothpick cleans better than metal, and clean up. And just leave inside. And that's gonna give me a much better line underneath. I'm painting looking at the phone like a surgeon. Okay. And here also clean up if it goes outside. I'm gonna put my glasses and fix all the mistakes. It's really hard to do it without my glasses. I might have to put more inside the eye here. But anyway, so as you could see, the pure black gets much darker. Okay, now I'm also going to put the same black inside the line of her eyes here, this one. And that's gonna make the line look deeper. And if I blurry, same thing, just clean up with the toothpick. If the toothpick is not cleaning very well, you can put a little bit of cotton on the tip and put some oil. Then it's going to clean up even better. And I don't know if I blurry here because I can't see, but I don't think I did. All right. She does have eyelashes that I don't usually put on my dolls, but if you want to, you can glue some real eyelashes on her. Or you can just paint thicker, darker right here just to fake an eyelash. Okay, I think this is good, turning out good. Okay, I like that. And I can see that she has this mark here really strong. So I'm going to darken here. And if you think it's too much, just get a dried brush. I think this is clean and spread. Okay, now I'm going to add some of her eyebrow. I'm not going to add the full eyebrow yet because I might put some volume to the eyebrow. But it's just so I can see Frida better because it's a big, big feature on her. I will start adding some here. So just adding some of the darker brown. I'm not even going to add black yet. It's just like a sketch of the eyebrow. So as we go, it's already, because it's the gel, you can already get some volume on the painting, but not a lot. All right, and now I don't want this to be just, I want the hair effect, so I'm going to scratch this out. And this is gonna give me the hair effect that I want. And now you can also fix if you think that it got too thick or it needs to be thinner in just some parts, like maybe mine could be thinner here, so just clean. And this is the good about painting this way, is because the paint that doesn't get dry until you bake, so you can always fix whatever you didn't like it. There we go. Whatever you didn't like. My daughter has been telling me that I put it in the end of way too many things. Okay. All right, I like that. What else can I put? Some shades. I'm gonna put some shade here too on the chin, but I'm gonna put the lighter brown. And here. Okay, so I think for the first layer this is enough. You can also put some, I forgot, put here on the temper. there. I'm going to spread with another brush. This one is not so dried, so I'll go with this one, it's drier. You can also clean with Q-tips if you think you put too much. There we go. And again, if you don't like whatever you did before baking, you can always put oil and clean it up, or oil or alcohol, either one will clean, and you can restart or just redo the part that you didn't like. And it's fine, it works great. All right, what am I gonna do now? So I'm gonna paint this side with the Genesis so you guys can see the differences. So for the Genesis, I'm gonna use this one, maybe. Let's see. I'm gonna use, oh my gosh, this is all mixed up, but it's actually like a dark skin color. Let me show you guys. This is mixed with black, so you can just pull it to the side, and that's the color that I'm gonna use right there. I'm messy with my paint. When I get the creative mode, I don't care about anything, just want to do it. And then you can put some oil, or you can just go with it dried, or you can even put gel if you want, whatever you feel that it helps you. And it's going to be exactly the same look. Exactly the same same places that I put with the other paint, except that this one is a different paint, but the effect is exactly the same. Pretty much exactly. See? This one is a bit too dry, so I'm going to put some oil. Okay, so I added some mineral oil to my Genesis, so it's a little bit less dried. And then it turns pretty similar to the gel with it's a little bit darker, I think, this color. So I'm just gonna spread with a dried brush. Then as we spread, it turns pretty similar. Okay. So now you guys can see that it is, you have the options and you can choose the best option for you. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna do exactly the same that I did here in this side, and I will bake this face, and I'm gonna bake for 8 minutes, 130 Celsius degrees. Wait to cool off and come back to paint the next stage. Okay, so I baked that. This is all baked, and I can paint the next layer, and I won't have to worry about removing or blurring, you know, whatever I made. So now I'm using that same red that I prepared when I was doing the demonstration, and I'm going to add some to her cheeks. I like to leave white around the eyes here, lighter. I'm gonna add both sides. I'm gonna keep using the makeup with the eyeshadow with the gel or liquid clay. Oh, I forgot to say, I also put some brown inside the, you know, the deep parts. I put some dark brown inside the deep parts on the ears, and it's also good to put some red because we have like reddish ears. Forgot to record that. And then if you think it's like not enough, you add more red or maybe pink or any blush that you like that is really blush color. Because I'm using eyeshadow, but blush also works. You know, powder to put over the foundation also works. even pastels if you want to. Put some on the chin and some on her forehead. The forehead I also kind of like to do like a triangle and spread. And this is just because of that volume that we have here. Then it gets lighter and it makes it more visible. There we go. So the pink is ready. Now let's put some lipstick. So for the lipstick, I'm gonna use the same red that I made, but I'm gonna add much more eyeshadow and make it like a strong pink. I mean a strong red. Now I'm going to apply some to her lips. If she wasn't wearing lipstick, I would go like painting like lips, but she is wearing lipstick, so I'm pretty much just going to paint. I'm just going careful because this brush is a bit too thick for that. Let me get a thinner brush. And then with the thinner brush, we can just do like the contour and actually paint the lip. And then the good thing about it is that it's already baked. So if you do make a mistake on the lipstick, you can just clean up without being concerned that you will remove the shades that you already did. And then again, she's wearing lipstick, passing the lip shape here, so I'm gonna do the same and go further on the lip shape. I think I'm gonna need to make more red paint here. All right. And if you want darker, then put more powder. But I like that. I think that's good enough. I'm just going to fix the trace here, the contour, with my glasses because it's hard to do it without them. Okay, so I'm just adding some more red, right just in here and here. I added a little bit of the red that I used for the lipstick and spread it. Okay, and the lipstick is also ready. And now I'm going to add some of that black that I put just black to her eyebrows. And also the one on the bottom is dried, so if I make a mistake, I can still clean up, I can still scratch this one without completely removing the one from the bottom. And this is gonna give me it's gonna give me more volume to the eyebrow and also more of a realistic shading, you know, because it's not just like a black thing painted to her face. It like slowly becomes the eyebrow. And here it kind of mixed up the shape of the eyebrow with the shade that I made in there, which is fine because it's the same on her picture, and that's it. And I like that. And we can still use our transparency to see if we're giving the right shape for the eyebrows. Put the transparency on top, clean up where it's wrong. And also something else you can do if you want more volume to the eyebrow It's get some colorful clay, like some black clay, and make it very liquid, but not as liquid as the liquid clay, and add on top, and then it's gonna give like more volume to it. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing in the other eyebrow, and I will put the transparency on top and see if I got the right shape for the eyebrow there. Okay, it's too far here. I have the clay. Anyway, like this, and see, maybe it can be a little bit thicker. Okay. Okay, now this is all baked, and I'm going to add some highlights. So for the highlights, the easiest way is to get powder or eyeshadow lighter than the skin color, but not too much, because if it's too much, you might end up with like, it's gonna look fake, it's not gonna look real. So I'm gonna add some of mine here. Same thing, make the color. And then I'm gonna add some highlights here. That's not very light enough. Let me find a lighter one. There, I added some light white to my beige just to make it lighter. I'm gonna add some here on the center, on the nose. Maybe some on the side of the nose here, some on the chin. And then I'm going to spread. Maybe add some here under the eyes too. Oh, some important part is that she has that part right here, very bright. So I'm gonna add some there. And on the other side. Now, something that I also noticed on mine is that her eyebrow have more of a curve here, and mine is too straight. So I'm going to add some eyebrow here to make this curve a little bit bigger. And this is just a painting, so the bottom is fine, is right. I looked on my reference. So, and also if you want to add more volume, you can do several layers on the eyebrows. It's going to look like thicker. So just add. And that looks better already because her eyebrow is thicker than what I did. And then still I can scratch again. And because everything underneath is baked except for the bright, so it's fine. And I think that's it. I think I'm fine. You can add some highlights on the lips as well here. Oh, we have to add the shade of her mustache. So for her mustache, I'm gonna add a slight brown, I think. But with a lot of gel, so it doesn't get too dark. I'm just gonna get this brown here and add extra gel so it's like soft. And I'm gonna add a little bit of shade here. Like that. And if you want to scratch, you can also scratch, but you don't have to. Just gonna come forward here. And maybe get a little bit darker just at the end here and do some darker here. I like that. And same here. Okay, so that's it. Maybe I will add more layers on the eyebrow just to make it thicker. Maybe not, I don't know. I'm gonna bake this and think about it. But I think this is pretty good. I like it. I'm happy with the result. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoy this class and see you guys next week. Bye bye.